We'll call to order the City of Douglasville City Council regular meeting for tonight, which is Tuesday, January the 20th, 2026. We'll have our invocation by Associate Pastor Andrew Dickerson, from First Presbyterian Church of Douglasville. It's good to see you. I'm Associate Pastor, and then our Pledge of Allegiance will be led by the Mayor Pro Tem City Councilmember Terry Miller. Please stand for the invocation.
As you are able, please join me in prayer. Gracious God, we thank you for the gift of life and for health and strength, for work and rest, for the sun that shines by day and the moon by night. Thank you for these common graces which remind us of your goodness and faithfulness. We thank you that we can be here today. We thank you for every person that makes up our community, those that bring us joy and those who challenge us to grow. We pray for our council meeting this evening, for Mayor Robinson, Mayor Pro Tem Miller, and the councillors who work alongside them. We remember the various departments that serve our community and their staff members who labor diligently on our behalf. Help them, guide them, strengthen them for the work that they do. We thank you for all the individuals and groups, businesses, charities, faith-based organizations that make up our city. Help us recognize and value the role we all play in making Douglasville a great place to live and learn and work. Empower us with goodness, kindness, and justice, that we may know the blessedness of building a community that creates opportunities for and sees the flourishing of all its citizens. We ask these things in your holy name. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem, for leading us in the pledge, and thank you, Pastor Dickinson, for the beautiful invocation and prayer, and send my regards to your beautiful family. Yes, sir. Thank you so much. My name is Rochelle Robinson. I'm Mayor of the City of Douglasville. I'd like to welcome you to this Douglasville City Council meeting. It is a voting meeting on the items that were discussed last Thursday at our legislative work session. So tonight, action will be taken on the items that were discussed last week. If they're not listed as an item on the agenda, you're certainly welcome to come up and speak to us from Citizens and Delegates section. So this city council meeting of agenda items or official action will be taken tonight. These items were discussed last Thursday, again at the legislative work session. Typically we meet on Mondays, but yesterday was Dr. King's birthday, federal holiday, so we're meeting on Tuesday. If the business you're here for is not listed as an agenda item, there will be ample time under the agenda item comments from citizens and delegates for you to discuss your business. There are a few protocol items I'd like to go over, and then we'll get into the meat of the meeting. I ask that you please keep your comments and presentations on a professional level, dealing with the facts that are important for this governing body to make our decisions. We will not accept comments that are considered by the chair to be of a personal attack on any individual or group of individuals. If you deviate from that warning from the chair, a second deviation will result in a request for you to leave the premises. Only one person speaking at a time. When you're at the podium, please address all of your concerns, comments to myself or council members. We ask that you will not turn around and have a conversation with the audience, clap, cheer, or just carry on a general conversation and be disruptive. Please present all of your concerns and comments to the chairperson of that committee or to myself. We're only required to accept public comments during the public hearings, and if you have a cell phone or electronic device, I ask that you please put those in silent mode so they will not be disruptive, or turn those off until after the meeting. If you have any printed materials, I ask that you please give those to our assistant city manager or deputy city manager, and they will give that information to our city clerk, Ms. Acker, and she will make copies and disseminate to us. Just a few more instructions, and then we'll get into the meeting. The agenda items will be handled in the following manner. The committee chairperson will read his or her agenda. Then that person or applicant that's presenting will come forward and present their information. Myself and council members will possibly ask clarifying questions to help us make a determination before we vote tonight, but we will take action. We'll either vote to pass it, deny, or take no action. Because these items were already discussed on Thursday during our legislative work session, we will not take questions or comments regarding each item during this meeting unless it's new information. Tonight is a voting meeting, and again, we'll either move to approve, deny, or take no action on that item. Prior to approaching the podium, please fill out a speaker form. They're outside on the desk. Fill the form out, hand it to our staff, and we'll make certain we put your information into the records, the official records. So this is not a question and answer format. We're not debating, going back and forth. We're here to hear the information, deliberate, and make our decisions. If you ask a question that staff can answer, we can answer it at the time, or we'll get back to you in a reasonable time frame. I believe that's it. When you come to the podium, give us your name and address for the record, and then you have 5 minutes to talk to us about any business that is germane to the city of Douglasville. If it's not on the agenda, again, you can talk to us after the meeting during comments from citizens and delegates, but please don't bring up the zoning matter. We will take care of that during the time for the public hearing. There's a code in here, OCG, one of those codes, but it can be overturned if you bring up matters from zoning that we have discussed during the open or public forum for that. All right, there are agendas outside. You can pick up a paper one if you like, or you can follow us on the screen, and we'll move on to the next item. We are at, that was announcements and presentations. We're at number 5, which is approval of the agenda. So I will open the floor for a motion to approve or adoption of the regular meeting agenda for tonight, which is January 20th, 2026. That's item 26-025. Open the floor for a motion to approve.
So moved.
Thank you, Councilman Estes. May I have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you, Councilman Davis. It's been properly moved in second to adopt or approve item 26-025. Do we have any questions, comments, concerns from council members? I don't see any. All those in favor of approving this item, please say aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Any questions? The ayes have it. This agenda item is adopted. 26-025 is unanimously approved. Now we'll go to item 6, minutes of the January 8th, 2026, which is a special meeting, and minutes of January 12th, 2026, regular meeting. So that's item 26-026. Open the floor for a motion to approve.
So moved.
Thank you, Councilman Estes. May I have a second? Second. Thank you, Councilman Watts. It's been properly moved in second, moved by Councilmember Estes, second by Councilmember Watts, to approve the minutes from January the 8th and the 12th, 2026. Do we have any questions, comments, or concerns from council members? Nope. All those in favor of approving this item, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. We'll move on then to the consent agenda. I open the floor for a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
So moved.
Thank you, Councilman Estes. You're on the roll. May I have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you, Councilman Davis. It's been properly moved by Councilmember Estes, second Councilmember Davis, to approve the consent agenda as presented. Do we see any concerns with the items under the consent agenda from council? I don't see any. All those in favor of approving this item, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Okay, Economic Development Committee, chaired by Councilmember Mayor Pro Tem Terry Miller.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business under the Economic Development Committee at this time.
Thank you, sir. Finance Committee, Councilmember Chris Watts.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business tonight under Finance.
Thank you, sir. Housing Committee, Housing and Community Affairs Committee, Councilmember Elena Hudson.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business under the Housing and Community Affairs Committee this evening.
Thank you, ma'am. We're at item number 11, Legislative and Intergovernmental Committee, chaired by Councilmember Mayor Pro Tem Terry Miller.
Oh, yes, Madam Mayor, we have a couple
Okay.
items under the Legislative and Intergovernmental Committee.
Yes, sir.
First is to adopt a resolution to submit to the Georgia General Assembly for consideration the passage of a bill to amend,
Thank you.
you just blocked my thing here, to amend the City of Douglasville Charter, Section 2.11 regarding election procedures. And Ms. Miranda Jordan will have an update on that, if there's anything to be updated.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, members of council, Madam Mayor. The only update to this item from the Thursday night presentation is to address the residency requirement also applying to write-in candidates. and I'm happy to take any questions.
Thank you. Ms. Jordan, do you have any questions or comments from the council? Any additional comments from staff on this? Good there? Okay. All right, well, seeing no other discussion, I'd like to place item 26-017 in the form of motion for approval.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have a motion to approve. May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember Estes. It's been properly moved in second, moved by the chair, Councilmember Mayor Pro Tem Miller, and second by Councilmember Estes to approve item 26-117. Do we have any questions, comments, or concerns from council? Not hearing any. All those in favor of approving this item, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. 26-017 is unanimously approved.
All right, our second item is to adopt a resolution as requested by the City of Douglasville Police Department to secure funding in the state of Georgia budget to staff a basic law enforcement officer training academy at the Georgia Public Safety Training Center, the GPSTC, metro location for 2026. Captain Edwards is not here, but Assistant Chief?
Yes, sir. It's just a resolution requesting the legislature to fund and run a regional police academy for the West Georgia area so we can have our training for our officers.
Who could dispute that? Any questions or comments from council members?
This is Mayor Pro
Madam
Tem. So, Deputy Chief, so this is a support letter, so for the funding?
Yes,
The resolution?
So the academy that was open in North Central has closed a year ago,
Yes,
and
sir.
at this point, we need support from the state in order to start up a new full-time academy in this area.
Okay. Thank you so much, Deputy Chief.
Any other
Mayor
additional
Pro Tem,
questions or
you yield back.
comments? I'm sorry?
I said I yield back.
Okay, any other questions? All right, I find very little fault in this resolution, so let's place item 26-032 in the form of a motion for approval.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. I have a motion to approve. May I have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember Estes. It's been properly moved in second, moved by the chair, Councilmember Mayor Pro Tem Miller, and second by Councilmember Estes to approve item 26-032. Do we have any additional comments, questions, or concerns from council? I don't see any. All those in favor of approving this item, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. 26-032 is unanimously approved.
Madam Mayor, that is all we have under the Legislative Intergovernmental Committee at this time.
Thank you, sir. We'll move on to item 12, Personnel and Organization Committee, chaired by Councilmember Howard Estes.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The Personnel and Organization Committee has no business this evening.
Thank you, sir. Planning and Development Committee, chaired by Councilmember Nicole Miller.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
You're welcome.
Our first item this evening is item number 26-018. Says to consider a request for a change in zoning from PUD, Plan Unit Development, to PSP for Public Semi-Public District and General Commercial. I think I said all of that wrong. Now I have a pop-up. Excuse me. Let me try that again. Consider a request for a change in zoning from PUD, PSP, and GC to PUD for 82.20 acres located on Bill Arp Road in Rose Avenue in Land Lot 161, District 2, Section 5, Parcel ID 0017 and 0043, and Land Lot 162, District 2, Section 5, Parcel ID 0029, application by DRB Group. Mr. Dana Gray, do you have an update for us?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Dana Gray, 6758 Spring Street. Yes, this applicant has requested a withdrawal of this application.
Okay, Mr. Gray, thank you. So at this time, do we take no action? Okay. All right, I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Mr. Gray. Let's go. Our next item is item number 26-019. Says consider request for special land use permit for massage therapy for property zone general commercial located at and on a portion of 2.38 acres, bless you, okay, on 639 Thornton Road, Suite 111, Lithia Springs, 30122, and Land Lot 423, District 18, Section 2, Parcel ID 0014, application by K Massage. Mr. Gray, do you have any updates?
I do. Mr. Dotson asked if this was the same applicant, and it is the same applicant from 2014 to present.
Okay. And did the applicant have anything additional to add to this evening?
No.
Okay. Madam Mayor, Council, do you guys have any additional questions on this particular item? Coach?
We may have covered this ground the other night, but just, again, were the applicants ever charged or anything that had to do with some of the infractions there?
The business was cited twice in March of last year for operating without a license. And then there was an arrest made of an employee in April, the following month.
And so they were cited twice. Is this, just out of curiosity, is this something businesses that operate without a license and then are cited, and then they continue to operate without a license and are cited a second time? Is this something that happens in the?
I mean, we currently, right now, we have a better rotation of code compliance going out and citing businesses without a license, and those end up in court. But to say how many businesses have been cited and to continue to operate, I don't have that number, and I'm not quite certain that our finance department has that number either. I just know that we do routine checks frequently.
And I know that that's not pertinent to this case. I'm just curious. You know, anyway,
Yeah.
that's all I had. Thank you.
Thank
Madam
you,
Chair.
Coach. Anything else?
Chairman, just a question. What was do we know the timeline?
So-
You know, as it relates to from the business licensing being expired versus when it was renewed.
So the citation happened, it was March 24th was the first citation, March 28th was the second citation, and then when we made the arrest, they were open again, which was April 16th.
So had that license not been renewed by the time April came for the arrest?
That's correct. So the arrest was actually an unrelated
Right.
incident. There was a sting operation that took place. But the business licenses are required to be renewed at the end of the year. So for 2024 year, they would have been required to renew by 2023, et cetera, et cetera. There's a grace period. They're given through the end of January to renew with a late fee. And so our code enforcement department is not typically going out and checking the non-renewals until about the beginning of March, just giving a little bit more time. And a number of those do end up receiving a code compliance citation. They do go to court for those. For this particular one, there were 2 citations written approximately 4 days apart. That's a continuing violation. So each day of operation, they can receive a new citation. And after that point, the Code Compliance Department began attempting to lock out the business. They did place a stop work order on the door in neon sticker. It's great, horrible thing to try to peel off a window. And they did stop operating at that point. That actually coincided approximately with the date of the arrest, but I don't think those came exactly the same, but they were very close in time. The code compliance team was working very closely with the police department to try to deal with any matters of keeping the peace related to a lockout. And then the other incident did occur, the arrest.
Okay, so the business license, so was it renewed by April?
So they still have not been able to renew their business license because the zoning team will review all business license requests to make sure that the business is allowed to operate, such as if the property is a general commercial, can they operate a retail store? There's an extra step that has to take place for massage businesses. They have to get a special permission from council to do that, which is the special land use permit, which they're asking for now. But that has to happen as part of zoning compliance before they can get their business license. So they still have not been able to renew that because of the outstanding special land use permit. In the meantime, though, unfortunately, this arrest occurred.
Right. I understand. I'm just asking because, of course, what we hear, ignorance of the law is no excuse. But, when it's pertaining to someone's business, potential livelihood, and, as it relates to renewing. So I'm just, of course, just trying to get some clarity because I understand, sometimes we're careless. Sometimes we, don't handle things in the manner that we're supposed to. So that's why, of course, just wanted to ask.
I think in this case, though, they had also been operating without the SLUP for nearly 10 years. And with the severity of the infraction that went along with the arrest, I think that's where my true concerns are coming from.
Okay. Thank you.
Madam Mayor.
Yes, ma'am. So that's what I was going to ask. In addition to Councilmember Caldwell's concern, and I'll try to simplify things for me to understand. So for me, it would be like I have a driver's license, it expires, and I get stopped, and you tell me, hey, your license is expired, and I keep driving on the license, and then you stop me again. So to me, that's what it was at the business. Your permit is up. You don't have a business license. You're told you don't have a business license, but you keep operating, and they have to come back and tell you you get another citation because you did not renew your business license. So that's one issue. And then Mr. Dotson asked about if it was the same owner as previously, and it is the same owner. They just changed the name from Mr. Q to Mr. K or something like that. And there was a concern of not having a special land use permit to operate a business for 10 years. Yeah. And that might be us too. We just didn't check and they just kept operating.
Exactly.
Well, I think we've been integrating over to a more up-to-date system that
Right,
will
we
help
didn't have
us
the paperwork.
stay on top of those sorts of things. Absolutely.
Was there any chance?
But they didn't come in. They knew they didn't have a special land use permit, but they just kept, maybe they didn't know they were supposed to have it out.
Correct. Councilman Davis, you had something to add?
Yes, Council Lady, I was wondering if they got anything in writing that was letting them know their step you must apply for your special land use permit before you can do business.
Well, they got one in 2014.
Okay, so it was sent out.
So someone came to
Registered.
council and got that in 2014.
Okay,
And they let it expire.
and let it expire. So did anybody else send them out a renewal like they do for your business license, special land permit, or you have to know it on your own?
I don't know. I can't answer that 100%, but I can tell you that as a realtor, it's my duty to make sure that I take my CEs and pay my dues to get my license renewed. And if I don't, like say it's due by tomorrow and I don't take care of it, then when I wake up tomorrow, I'm kicked out of every website.
Yeah, I know.
There's no more job.
That's it. I just want to make
Okay.
sure they were
Coach?
warned.
Coach, did you have
So they
something?
do warn us.
Based on the other night, there seems to be a language barrier between the owners and, so is that some of the blame, or do we have a
Typically, when an applicant comes in, just for instance, tonight, or at any given time, when you approve a special land use permit, you typically give a date when that permit will expire. So that information and that documentation that's given by community development is in, the applicant receives that. So the onus is on the applicant when they receive that information. I'll use the mayor's example, driver's license. I look at my driver's license to know when it expires. They can look at the paperwork to know when it expires.
So that's on there.
So that is actually on the applicant because that's in the paperwork and the documentation that they receive. But we do not put in courtesy calls because the information is within writing that they received.
I guess I'm not clear on the 10 years without the SLUP. How that slipped through the cracks either for them. So they operated this business as a massage parlor for 10 years without the proper.
It probably, on our end, it probably was not captured because of software. I mean, currently, right now, we put those things in software, so there is something that notifies us that these are up. Prior to 10-plus years ago, we didn't have that capability. So it was, someone would have to actually look in a file and follow up. So it was easy for something like that to fall through the cracks. So that probably was, a slight on us, and we didn't find it until the
And-
business license issued.
And one of the good things we have in place now is someone comes for a business license, we review that application, and we would look for things like that. We would point out a use that we kind of know requires a special land use permit, and then we would go to the records as far as we can to see at what stage they are with that special land use permit. So in this case, they came for the business license, and we did that research, and it brought to our attention that they had an expired special land use permit from 2014-15.
Okay.
I would just like to add one final thing. So just to Madam City Manager's point, almost splitting the baby, right? In a sense that there is, of course, an issue with the applicant as it relates to the business license. But also, it's that if they've been operating for 10 years without, the special land use permit, there was no communication sent. I understand the other incident is an isolated incident, but I just think that I guess there's errors on both parts, right? And so it's a matter of how do we look at that, just to be able to make sure that we are doing the best that we can. And I understand, again, these are tough times, and it's someone's business, right? And so I would just add that. Of course, the vote will go how it will, but just wanted to add that.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, one more question.
Yes, Councilman Davis.
So we're voting on a special land permit today?
Yes, sir,
Then
that's what
they
it is.
apply for business license?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Correct.
Okay, cool.
Okay, have we exhausted all of our questions?
Are they in litigation?
Yes, ma'am,
They
they are
have
still
court.
in litigation.
So if we make a determination, will that affect their litigation? Would
No,
affect-
because that's the individual employee.
Oh, that's
It's
separate from
not
the
an
business.
applicant that was,
Right.
part of the court proceedings.
Okay.
Correct. But unfortunately, this is the kind of thing that we're seeing more and more of, not just across our community, but across the nation with these types of charges, which I personally feel like is something that directly is linked to sex trafficking, and I don't take it lightly. So, Madam Mayor, Council, do we have any further discussion? Okay. With that being said, I make a motion that we deny item number 26-019.
Thank you. Madam Chairman, I have a motion to deny. May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember Estes. It's been properly moved in second. Open the floor for any questions or more concerns from the council in regards to item 26-019 and denial. Okay, all those in favor of denying this item, please say aye.
Aye.
Or you can raise your hand so city clerk can see the vote. Opposed, raise your hand. Majority. The motion is, the majority is to denial?
Yes, ma'am.
City clerk? Okay.
Thank you.
So the majority rules the motion to deny item 26-019.
Correct.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Our next item is item number 26-021. Says to consider a request for a variance from section 9.01 of the Unified Development Ordinance for park improvements for 16.41 acres located at 3270 Chapel Hill Road in Land Lot 57, District 1. Section 5, parcel ID 0061, application by the City of Douglasville. Mr. Marcus Thompson, do you have any updates for us?
Good evening, Councilman Miller. There's no updates at this moment.
Thank you. Okay. Madam Mayor, Council, do we have any questions or further discussion regarding this item? Okay. That being said, I make a motion that we approve item number 26-021.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I have a motion to approve. May I have a second, please? Thank you, Councilmember Watts. It's been properly moved and second, moved by the chair, Councilmember Miller, and second by Councilmember Watts to approve item 26-021. Do we have any questions, comments, or concerns from council as relates to this parks item in Fowler Field? I don't see any. All those in favor of approving this item, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. 26-021 is unanimously approved.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
You're welcome.
Our next item is item number, these pop-ups, item number 26-022. So it's to consider a request for a variance from section 9.02 of the Unified Development Ordinance for park improvements on 16.41 acres located at 3270 Chapel Hill Road in Land Lot 57, District 1, Section 5, Parcel ID 0061, application by the City of Douglasville. Mr. Thompson.
Again, Councilwoman Miller, there's no additional items for this item as well.
Thank you. Madam Mayor, Council, do we have any questions or further discussion regarding this item? No? With that being said, I make a motion that we approve item number 26-022.
Thank you so much, Madam Chairman. I have a motion to approve. May I have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you. I had dueling seconds. Who will we get, City Clerk? Mr. Estes. It's been properly moved in second, moved by the Chair, Councilmember Miller, in, and second by Councilmember Estes to approve item 26-022. Do we have any questions, comments, concerns from council members for Mr. Thompson? I don't see any. All those in favor of approving this item, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. 26-022 is unanimously approved. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. That's all that we have this evening for planning and development.
Thank you so much, Madam Chairman. We'll move on. You have the next committee, Public Improvement and Beautification Committee.
And Madam Mayor, we have no business this evening for public improvement and beautification.
Thank you, ma'am. Public Relations Committee, chaired by Councilmember Samuel Davis.
No business at this time, Madam Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Davis. Public Safety Committee, chaired by Councilmember Howard Estes.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business tonight for the Public Safety Committee.
Thank you, sir. Recreation, Culture, and Tourism Committee, chaired by Councilmember Chris Watts.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business tonight under Recreation, Culture, and Tourism.
Thank you, Coach. Technology Committee, chaired by Councilmember DeVitron Caldwell.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business under Technology Committee tonight.
Thank you, Councilman Caldwell. Transportation Committee, chaired by Councilmember Elena Hudson.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business under the Transportation Committee this evening.
Thank you, ma'am. Other business? Any other business from council members? Councilman Estes?
Madam Mayor.
Yes, sir.
Maybe Ms. Frazier can cover this during her update, but I would love to hear from, I see Corey back there, and maybe our Deputy Chief, about any plans for the possible nasty weather heading our way.
Inclement weather for the snow.
Yeah, and ice.
Yes, sir. We, Mr. Jackson or Ms. Burdette, if either one of you are in the back, and I see our fire chief, he may want to mention something as well, so we have public safety. I will say that staff has been communicating, but if you gentlemen don't mind coming to the podium, and is Ms. Burdette here? I can't see. Okay. Fire chief, if you don't mind as well. Deputy Chief.
Yes, well, I've already spoken with Mr. Jackson. We had a conversation earlier today about this. The police department has certain procedures in place that we plan for. There's some cars that we equip differently, and we take some different procedures in how we staff our officers that are working the road during that time.
Corey Jackson, 8145 Cedar Mountain Road. So we are in full prep right now. We're still a long ways out, so we don't know exactly what's going to happen. But we see enough that we want to get everything put together. So we're in communication with the PD and other agencies as well to see what they're doing and getting our game plan together. So.
Dr. Allen. Good evening, Fire Chief.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, Council. From the fire department standpoint, I had meetings today with emergency management, 911. I also spoke with County DOT. So right now we're in the middle of prep. We're going to have another meeting tomorrow, and then I have an executive staff meeting on Thursday and an EMA meeting Thursday afternoon also. So we're going to be working this as this thing coming. So we have been watching the news and getting with the weather services. So right now, according to them, it's on a path. It could change, but we're preparing to prepare.
Okay. Thank you.
Perfect.
Dr.
Thank
Allen.
you. I just wanted to, I wanted to make sure the public heard that this is being dealt with from every possible angle. So thank you, guys.
In the same vein with the public safety about the unhoused, how are we, do we have warming stations? Are we taking them, you used to take them to the police department, municipal, community room. What are we doing?
So right now, First United Methodist has been having warming
They're
centers
the warming center.
For this winter so far. And we post that information on our Facebook page
Mhm.
when they're going to be open and the procedures for it.
So someone can call police and we take one of the citizens there. If someone calls and there's someone outside that's cold, they can take them to the First United Methodist?
Yes, we'll always take a call. If someone needs help, we'll be there to help them.
Okay, all right. Not on the same subject, but kind of, Mr. Corey, a couple of my neighbors brought to my attention, I didn't pay attention until later. Have you all picked up all the recycling bins in the city?
No. Mine's still out in front of my house.
All of mine in my neighborhood are gone. Mine is gone. My husband's like, we don't get an extra week for recycling now to put regular. So I was just wondering, or is it systematic? Are you all picking them up eventually?
Yes, and everybody doesn't put them out every week, so we don't get the opportunity to grab those sometimes. So as people were calling in now, we are going and getting those items from them. So
We can't have a recycle bin.
you can come to the recycle center.
And you can get an additional brown can if you want.
But you got to pay for it.
Yeah.
We had a free one with the recycle bin. No, I'm just kidding. So not anymore.
We are
So-
continuing to get those picked up, though.
Yeah,
as-
so if we put them out, if citizens put that recycle bin out, that blue one, you are going to take it up and we can go to the recycling bin.
We are. The first 2 weeks, we did rounds of actually going with a truck and getting those emptied out and picking them up itself. I think we've collected over 2,000
I
bins
know, you
over
got
the past
me.
2 weeks. Unfortunately, like this week, we are prepping for possibility of a winter storm.
Yes, sir.
So as people call in, we're going to get those, but we're not putting street screws out just to grab them right now.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Madam
Thank you.
Mayor?
Yes, sir.
Just one quick question. I know it was mentioned, you mentioned unhoused, and it
Yes,
was
sir.
stated that it's on Facebook. But for those who are unhoused, do they have communication? So is there an additional method, like some of the areas where they congregate? I don't know. Is there some additional communication that can go out a flyer or something to just so they at least know? Because I'd like to think that they could tough it out, or they may think they could tough it out, but things get bad enough, then what? But I don't know that they necessarily have cell phones either, and that could be something
That'd be
I'm just
cool.
maybe not
Well,
aware of.
We do have the faith-based initiative. Ms. Jackson is a part of that, and a lot of the churches, Mr. Branson is his name? Charlie Branson, they go and feed in the camps, and so that's a lot of times we get them on hands-on and talk to people face-to-face. Mhm. You're welcome.
Madam Mayor,
Yes, sir. Councilman
I
Davis.
had a young man come up to me today, and he talked about the storm, and I didn't know what kind of salt they put down. He asked me, did they put down the regular, what kind of
Rock
salt?
salt?
I
I
told
don't
him,
know nothing about
I
it.
told him I didn't know. What is it?
Mr.
Corey?
Jackson.
Mr. Jackson, we still asking public safety questions.
The question is, what type of salt are we putting down on the road?
He was jumping.
Yes, sir.
I didn't want to
Salt
tell him
and
no story.
sand.
It is a salt mixed with a material that gives a grip, an instant grip. Same material we've used since I've been here, started in 2012. We currently have about 80 to 100 tons of salt on hand. We also have a pre-mix already set up. Like I said, we go into the winter months with about, if I had to estimate, about 30% of our equipment ready to go, because that equipment cannot sit with salt in it or it deteriorates over time.
Right.
So this week, seeing what we're seeing, we're going ahead and bumping everything up to 100%. We've got as much material stored as we can personally handle.
Okay.
Without wasting anything. So does that
All right.
answer?
To answer your question, Councilman Davis?
Yes, 'cause he see me at Longhorn again, he gonna ask me.
Okay. So it's a salt sand mixture. It's a mixture.
It is a mixture. It's done by ratio, and it depends on what type of weather we have.
Yes, sir.
Different things work for ice as does for snow. Also, the temperature makes a difference. If it's a lower temperature, of course, it's going to take a little more salt. And there is a point where the temperature can stop the salt from even activating. But that's a lower temperature than we're expecting at this time, so.
We're not gonna have a snowpocalypse.
I don't.
You remember we were stuck? We were stuck. It was ice.
All of them are like that to me. We, just something we gotta deal with, and honestly, we don't know until it gets here.
Until we know. Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr.
You're welcome.
Corey. Coach, you had something under other business?
Well, I do, but after all that talk, I would just like to make a motion that everybody that's born in the South stay home if it starts snowing, because you don't know how to drive on the roads. Now, if you've moved here from up north and you've got experience, I understand that. But the best salt is the salt that you don't drive over. Stay in your driveway. Anyway, I just wanted to say that I used the recycling center for the first time today. Finally got my act together, quit using the blue bin because it's just going in the landfill anyway, and I don't have a blue bin anymore, so that's good. But anyway, I wasn't sure about some stuff. I just put it all in my vehicle, took it out there, and as soon as I drive up, staff is out there. They weren't out there because I'm on the city council, because most of them don't know me anyway. They just came out, and they're very helpful. So if you're looking to use a recycling center, use it. Tin cans, aluminum, number one, and paper. And don't bring shredded paper because they don't take that. But other than that, And, well, I didn't use the glass today, but that'll be next time. But anyway, I appreciate everybody out there and the job they're doing. They did a good job helping me. And so anyway, thank you.
Yeah, clear blue, brown, and green glass.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, yeah, you're right. The last thing is, city manager, it was brought to my attention we have a conference coming up, Cities United, and it's not you, Mr. Corey. Cities United, and it starts on Friday at 8 a.m., so some of us are going Thursday evening, but we're supposed to be there through Monday when we meet with the governor and go to the Capitol. If it snows, or ice, so I think our administrative portion says we can go the day before and the day after.
I think
for
if
personnel policy,
I think if it's like that, GMA is going to cancel or change the schedule. You may have gotten an email from them today.
Yeah, the legislative
where they are
policy.
watching the weather and they will adjust if needed.
Okay.
Because it's not, we're not the ones they're worried about. It's people coming from other parts of the state.
The city manager about the hotel.
Yeah, I think
specifically.
if you all are looking for, so I think right now what the clerk's office is processes expenses for your lodging through a specific date that is allowable of the ordinance. If you're looking to exceed that, my recommendation would be, unless legal tells me, advise me against it, because you all are going to have to, you all will have to approve an expense outside of what your administrative ordinance allows. So I don't know how to get around that.
Well, what was the specific dates were? I think the ordinance is the day before and the day after?
Correct.
Okay, so that would cover.
It depends. It depends on what if they've already processed your expense for the max, then you're already at what the policy extends you for. So if you get an additional, it would be beyond what the policy allows. So that's what I'm asking legal, if there's even a way to get around that.
Well, I'm saying the policy. I apologize. So the policy, the conference is Monday. The last day is Monday when we go to the Capitol. If it snows on Monday or there's ice on Monday, the question was asked to me, could they stay over until Tuesday so they won't have to go on the road and try to drive through the ice on Monday?
Well, that is if they already have a hotel and they have a room, because they may not have space.
Have we booked them?
Through the extended the day after. We have not.
No, so.
Correct.
Right.
What the clerk would have to do is take a look at each individual elected official. So if you have opted to stay the full maximum allowable time, then that would be something that the policy, we would have to address the policy. If you are not, then you still have a day to be able to use. And so what the clerks would do is contact the hotel to see if we can extend the extra day so you're within policy. It would be those individuals that are staying the maximum allowable time that we would have issue with. And I
if you-
don't know which one of you all are doing that.
So you're staying, if you stay till Tuesday, that's a max time, but if you stay till Monday, it isn't.
Tuesday is the max.
Tuesday is the max. Yeah, Tuesday is the max.
The ordinance was set up on the theory that you would do all of this in advance. If you have an emergency, my recommendation would be that you may have to pay for it yourself and submit a reimbursement claim, at which point in time the council can determine that that was an emergency and reimburse it.
So, if everybody's good with that, that's how we will process that. And that's for those who are going to stay beyond Tuesday. If you're already booked to Tuesday, you're in good shape, but if you're gonna stay through Wednesday, you're in a situation where you are above the maximum allowable days.
So most of us were, I was thinking Monday is the big day where, you know, the gubernatorial debate, you see the governor's breakfast, and you go to the Capitol. So that's typically the last day. But if it snows or rains or ice that day, and you don't want to drive, then you stay until Tuesday. That would be the extension. But I'm just talking about what I'm talking about for me. Okay. Okay. I don't have a choice. I got to be there for LPC. Okay. Thank you, City Manager. Any other business? I know we've brought up some issues from council. Okay, if not, we'll move on to updates from our city staff or city attorney, Mr. Joel Dotson.
No business, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Staff attorney, Ms. Miranda Jordan.
No business, Madam Mayor. Thank you.
You're welcome. Our police department deputy chief, J.R. Davison.
Madam Mayor, just want to point out, Tuesday, February 10th is our next town hall meeting. It's
Yes,
at 6:30 at the police department, and this is where Chief Sparks will be going over our 2025 annual report.
Oh, wonderful. That's a great, that one should be a good meeting. That'll be exciting for us to hear. And today I was giving a plaque. I was, I don't know, who was that from? I think it was from Youth Against Violence. You all received a plaque from somewhere.
I'm not sure.
Shannon brought it over.
I'm not sure who that plaque was from.
Yeah, but it was very nice. So we're going to put it in a city award box, but she brought it over today. So congratulations for that plaque for Youth Against Violence. Our city manager, Ms. Marcia Frazier.
Just have one thing, and this is to address Councilmember Caldwell's question about homeless. Just to remind you all, Douglas County also has a homeless coalition. So a lot of the work that we were doing with Face has been shifted to them. So
Okay.
they do checks in the areas that are known.
Yeah, Community Services Board. I forgot about that.
They do that. And then also as it relates to inclement weather and City Hall and communication with the Public Services Department, if it turns out that the weather is not safe for employees to come in on Monday, we will be closing City Hall. So we will send out that announcement as we typically do so that individuals are not coming in, and we'll continue to report on that. That's all I have.
Thank you so much, City Manager. Now, the meeting, if you sustain the meeting and you'd like to speak to us as comments from citizens and delegates, please come forward to give us your name and address for the record, and you have 5 minutes to talk to us about any business germane to the city of Douglasville. No takers. All right, if we don't have any other business, this meeting is adjourned.